Welcome back, calculator people. Today's tutorial, we are going to start Unit 9. Unit 9 is Proportional Relationships and Similar Figures. It covers our first standard in this unit, Florida Standard 8.EE.2.5. And today we're going to talk about find the constant of proportionality from a table. So words you're going to hear this unit are proportional relationship, constant of proportionality, slope, similar triangles, unit rate, origin, rate of change, and coordinates. 8th graders, some of these should sound familiar to you because we used some of this vocabulary a couple of chapters ago. Your unit essential question is, how can we compare two similar situations if they are represented in different ways? So today's topic is proportional and non-proportional relationships. Well, a proportional relationship is if the ratio or rate of two quantities are equal, then the quantities are proportional. If the ratios or rate of two quantities are not equal, then the quantities are not proportional. So what does that look like? First, let's look at a proportional relationship. We are going to pretend we are buying some apples. So we are going to make ourselves a chart. And on one side, we're going to have apples. And on the other side, we are going to have cost. Okay? So when we have 4 apples, they are going to cost $3. When we have 6 apples, they are going to cost $4.50. When we buy 10 apples, they are going to cost $7.50. And lastly, when we buy 16 apples, they are going to cost $12. Now, is this a proportional relationship? That is the question we are looking for. So, let's see. When we are going to see if this is a proportional relationship, what we need to find out is our cost per apple. See what I did here? I made a division problem. Remember, when you do these, you read top down. So cost per apple. So if you let your apples be X and your cost be Y, this would mean you would have your Y column divided by your X. Let's see what that looks like. So calculator people, do this with me. We are going to do our first one. We're going to figure out if you spent $3 for 4 apples, how much did each apple cost? Well, take your calculator and take in 3 divided by 4. And what do you get? Did you get 75 cents? Good job. Let's take our next proportion. $4.50 for 6 apples. Let's see what that equals cost per apple. So you have 4.5 divided by 6. What does that come out to per apple? Did you get 75 cents again? Good job. Let's try our third one. $7.50 is your cost for 10 apples. What is the cost per apple? So take 7.5 and divide it by 10. And did you get 75 cents again? Excellent. Our last proportion. You spent $12 for 16 apples. What is the cost per apple? So type in 12 divided by 16. What is your cost per apple? Did you get 75 cents? Good job. So now let's look. Does 75 cents equal 75 cents equal 75 cents equal 75 cents? Well, yes, it does. this is a proportional relationship. So when you see these, you're going to be given a scenario with a table, and then you're going to have to find the proportional relationship, and if they are all equal, then the answer is yes, and they are going to ask you for that rate. So what happens when the proportion is, and when it's not proportional? So let's give that a look. Let's see what happens when your scenario is not proportional. Because your first several are going to be proportional, and they're going to have you divide them out and make sure you can figure out the correct proportion. But as you move on, it's going to start asking you if it's proportional or not, and you're going to have to first decide yes or no. So let's pretend we're up north and there's some snowfall, and it snows for 4 hours. So we have our hours. Let's see if I can get this to right. Yep, pencil. That helps. We have hours, and we have snowfall in inches, because we're pretending we're up north. All right. So after 1 hour, we had 1.5 inches of snow. After 2 hours, we had 3 inches of snow. After 3 hours, we had 4.5 inches of snow. And after 4 hours, we had a whole heck of a lot. We had 8 inches of snow. That's a lot of snowfall. So let's see what our proportion is. How much snowfall per hour? All right, remember, your first column is X, your second column is Y. So we know that any number divided by 1 is the number. So we are at 1.5, because that is the number of snowfalls for 1 hour. So let me see. Hour 2, you had 3 inches of snowfall. What is the rate of snowfall per hour? So take your snowfall, which is 3, and divide it by 2. What do you have? Did you get 1.5 again? Good job. Our third scenario. After 3 hours, we had 4.5 inches of snow. So how much snow fell per hour in this scenario? Take 4.5 and divide it by 3. And what do you have? Did you get 1.5 again? Great. Now let's look at this fourth scenario. In 4 hours, you have 8 inches of snow. So in this scenario, what was your snowfall per hour? You may not even need a calculator for this one, because what is 8 divided by 4? Did you say 2? Excellent. Now we have our 4 rates. Are they all equal? Well, let's see. 1.5. Yep, that does equal 1.5. And yep, that does equal 1.5. But check this out. Does any of that equal 2? No. We do not have a proportional relationship here. So that is where you would stop. If your question is this proportional or not, and you figure out the answer is no, then that is where the question stops and you'll move on to your next one. So give it a try. You have 2 Khan Academy videos to watch after this. They're really quick, so it shouldn't take you too long. And then go on to your IXL assignment for this week. Remember, when you're done, if you want to be done, that's great. Or go on to the diagnostic and see where that takes you. All right, calculator people, until next time, bye.